Hi, guys. What do you know good today? Oh, my goodness. It feels like it's been a month of Sundays since I've um, made a video and come to you and talk to you guys. I know I've had people reach out to me. Oh, my gosh, I haven't heard anything. How is everything? What's going on? I know it's been kind of radio silence lately, but I'll tell you what, life got a little crazy, really crazy. And I was ill prepared and delusional, and it kind of smacked me around a little bit. And so I was down for the count, but we're coming back, and I want to kind of fill you guys in on everything that you've missed. There has been a lot. Bear with me. We got a lot to go through. I'm going to try to get through it as quick as possible, just so I can get you guys caught up on what's going on. For those of you who are just joining us and brand new, I'll just do a really super fast introduction. My name is Dawn. This is my show called Not Today Murder Titties, and it's about my breast cancer journey. I encourage you to watch episode 1, 2, 3, and 3 parts 1 and 2. This is episode 4, y'all, and if those are new, please check those out. That way you can be completely caught up with what's going on, because there was a lot going on before this one. Those who are back to join us, thank you for coming back and hanging in there with me. I appreciate it. Like I said, this is episode 4. We're going to just kind of dive right into it because we have a lot to cover. The last time I talked to you guys, I was telling you about how I had to have the last test I had to have before having my chemo treatment start was called a PET scan. A PET scan is basically just a scan. You go in and they do a 3D image of your entire body. In order to get this image, you have to have an IV contrast and drink this really disgusting stuff called barium. I'm sure there were some groans out there, because anybody that's ever had barium has not had a great experience with it. It's absolutely awful. If you've never had barium, let me just tell you a little bit what it is. Barium is disgusting. It is a chalky, milkshake, thick, super gross mixture of something that you have to drink, that they say comes in all different flavors, and ooh, this is a berry smoothie. No, it's not. It's disgusting. It's absolutely gross. You have 45 minutes to get this thing into your gullet. And but the barium is important, because what it does is it lights up. In the CT and MRI, it lights up. And so when they are doing, or any type of scan, and so when they're doing anything that lights up with this particular type of barium, shows you where there's cancer in your body. So that way you know exactly where you have to address, because cancer cells move fast and they multiply fast. Cancer cells double every 180 days in size. That's not very long. It seems like a long time. It's not. So especially if you don't know that you have cancer and you've had it for a while, it can sneak up on you. So this test is super important. I had this test. I drank the barium. It was disgusting. Bad things, y'all, happen to your body when you drink barium. I can't even, bad things, okay? Those that have had it, no, because it wants to escape your body in a really bad way, super fast. You don't have any warning. You got like a minute or less to get somewhere where you can release the demons that barium causes, because it wants to get out of your body really fast. So, and if you remember, we've talked about where we have to travel to the Cancer Institute every single week, and to go for all of these visits and everything is 2 hours. It's about 2 hours away from my front door to the building. About 2 hours. That's a trek, and we have to go down an interstate that's got fair to middle and a whole bunch of nothing in between stops here and there. Doesn't leave you a whole lot of options when you have demons trying to escape your body. Now, I'm in the car going home. We're on our way home from this scan, and all of a sudden the barium says, it's time to go. And I have no time to wait. I basically yelled and screamed to my husband, Jason, pull over, really find a place to pull over. Oh my God, please pull the next place you can. Oh my God, please. At least 5 times, no less than 5 times, did I have to find a place, any place, whether it be a grocery store, a department store, a craft store, and 2 bathrooms that I had never been into before. And defiled, and I mean defiled. I ruined these bathrooms. Like, it was bad things, okay? I am running in these, man, I'm running into these places, like running as fast as you can run. I try to clench everything together so nothing comes out. Running, sweating. Whew, I almost knocked over this poor older lady and her little grandson, and I only know this because she said, as soon as I got in there, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, literally almost ran them over trying to get in this bathroom because they were coming out. And Grandma says she was in a hurry, just like Grandma. Yeah, no joke, lady. And I apologize to your grandson. Like, almost ran this child over trying to get in this bathroom. I apologize. It was not my fault, okay? And I ran out of each of these properties, each of these buildings, ran out like I stole something. I could not wait to get out of there. It was awful because I know they have cameras. I know they can see me. I know when they find out what they did in that bathroom. And trust me, I tried to do the best that I can to fix it, but bad things, okay? It was reminiscent of a trip that I took with one of my very best friends in Tennessee. And when she sees this, she'll know what I'm talking about. But that's a story for another time. And I'm sure with all these cameras and everything up, I'm probably on a wall of shame somewhere. They probably alerted others along the all down I-80 as I'm going home. Alerted others like an APB, like be on the lookout for this woman. And of course, this brought on a lot of comments from my husband. And we'll go over that later, as I'm sure that you know he had something to say about that trip. So I would like to give my sincerest apologies to all the store owners. I apologize. Bury him. It wasn't my fault. I have cancer. I'm sorry. What do you do? Okay. So that's done. Now I want to kind of catch everybody up. That was the last test I had to have before my chemo treatment started, and my chemo treatment started May 2nd. Very first treatment I had, the regimen, and everybody gets put on a different standard of care depending on what type of cancer that you have, what type of markers are present in the tumors that you have. Everything makes a difference as far as the type of cancer treatment, whether you have several different types of chemotherapies or one and several types of immunotherapy. Everything's different. Everybody is different. So the one that I have to have a chemotherapy treatment and 2 immunotherapy treatments. My chemotherapy treatment would generally be every 21 days, which is standard of care every 3 weeks. However, because it's really, really strong, my chemotherapy is called paclitaxel. It is a Taxol-based chemotherapy, very, very, very strong, very toxic, very potent, ugly mess, okay? And in order to try to alleviate side effects of this particular chemotherapy, because they're a lot and serious, they break it up. Instead of going every 3 weeks, you go every week and get a third of the medication, so you're still getting the same amount of medication in your body, but it's supposed to help alleviate side effects. And then every 3 weeks, you get your full dose of immunotherapies, which is what happens to me. So instead of going and it's you have 4 treatments, it would be like a 4 rounds of these 3-week treatments, which is 12 weeks, right? So I go every week instead. So I have 12 weeks of treatment, and I go every Tuesday. So May 2nd was my first chemo treatment, May 2nd. And I just finished my 11th treatment on Tuesday. So we're nearing the end of the chemo. It's amazing. However, there's a lot to be said about chemotherapy. It's awful. It's toxic. It's basically poison that they put in your body because they have to, because it has to have these properties to kill these cancer cells and to shrink these cancer cells, to target these cancer cells so they don't continue to grow. It doesn't take away the tumors, but it's supposed to keep them from growing more tumors, and possibly shrink the ones that you already have. It's incredibly toxic. And because chemotherapy is targeted in your entire body, whereas radiation is a little bit different and is only targeted at wherever your tumors are, it's targeted at that tumor. Chemo targets your entire body and all of your cells, which is why chemotherapy makes you want to die. It is awful. Now, okay, let me tell you. The side effects are ridiculous, and we will go over those in a second. But first of all, I'd like to say that, and I think scientists are wonderful people. We need them in our lives. They help develop these medical technologies that are amazing, and the progress that has come out of scientific research is absolutely incredible. It is saving lives, and I understand that. However, these scientists that spend so many years developing all of these medications for like ED, okay, just off the top of my head, like Viagra and Levitra and Cialis. And trust me, I only know, those are just the ones I've seen from commercials, okay? There's probably a huge plethora of these types of things. But they spend all this time developing medications for stuff like that. And I'll be honest with you, I like for them to stop playing with their wieners and come up with something for these chemo side effects, because it is ridiculous. Absolutely and utterly ridiculous. This bitch, Helga, which those of you don't know is what I call this cancer, is Helga. I'm going to list for you that I have to listen. I wrote them down because there's so many I couldn't possibly remember them all, okay? And I have chemo brain, which is a side effect and a real thing. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't remember them all. I'm going to list, give you possible side effects of not just chemo, what is actually listed, okay, but also the 2 immune therapies that I have to take as well, okay? So the chemotherapy that I take, like I said, is called paclitaxel, okay? One of the things that this particular chemo causes anemia. So it causes, I already have a hemolytic anemia. I've had it for years. That's nothing new. It doesn't make it worse, but if you don't have it, it can cause it. And so, I'm not worried about that. One of the things that causes is changes in eyesight. Well, I already have cataracts, can't see. Anyway, blind in one eye, can't see out the other, so that doesn't matter. It also can cause liver and kidney problems. Those last forever. They are not very common, though. And I will say, hand to God, thank you, Jesus, I do not have any of those yet. They do check liver and kidney function regularly, because you can't even start your chemo treatment for the day until you have labs. You have labs every single morning, because they have to do all these panels of blood work to see how you're reacting and what's going on with your body before you get your treatment. Because if they have to make adjustments, depending on what's going on with your body, it's important. So, I digress. Those are not common, okay? However, possible side effects. Are you ready? It's a lot. Okay, so just for the paclitaxel are hair loss. That's what most people think when they think of chemotherapy, is hair loss, of course. Extreme weakness and fatigue, diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, mouth sores, muscle and joint weakness and pain, dizziness, no appetite at all, change in the taste of food, nail lifting, and some possible loss of a nail. Peripheral neuropathy. I'm going to tell you what, peripheral neuropathy is horrible. Absolutely terrible. So what it is it's nerve damage on the peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage on the your extremities, so your fingers, toes, hands, feet. This gives you the peripheral neuropathy. What it does is nerve damage causes numbness and tingling all the time, and pain in these extremities. It does not go away with chemotherapy. You have no grace period where, it went away today. No, once you get it, you get it. And you have it all the time, and it gets progressively worse. This is usually for life. It does not go away. It may lessen later, but you can't reverse nerve damage. You just can't. It doesn't correct after chemo. So going back to possible side effects of chemo: skin rashing, lesions and sores on your skin, itching and severe sunburn, like rash, dry skin, severely dry skin. Also with neuropathy, as we go back to neuropathy, can cause loss of fine motor skills, like My husband has to help button my shirt and put my earrings in, unless, if they haven't backs in them, I can't even, because you can't hold on to the back. You can't feel it. You have no idea. Trying to hold on is ridiculous. Okay. Bruising and bleeding, excessive bruising and bleeding, nosebleeds, insomnia, memories and concentration problems, i.e. chemo brain, constipation. It compromises your entire immune system because you're essentially getting poisoned. And so it breaks your whole immune system down. So if somebody comes within, 10 miles of me and they got a cold, I'm going to get it. So you have to be very careful. That's just with the chemotherapy. Immunotherapy, that has its own side effects too. I take 2 immunotherapies. One is called pertuzumab. The other one is called trastuzumab. Trust me, I know those are weird words. And the first time I heard them, I said, what? Because I didn't know what they were talking about, but been doing it for a while, so I'm kind of a pro now. They come with their own list of side effects, and they're very similar to chemo: hair loss, rashing and skin problems, diarrhea, fast heartbeat. Fast heartbeat is called tachycardia. I've had this already ever since I was a child. It can't be explained. Nobody knows why. Every now and then my heart will just race. It has nothing to do with anxiety. There's no triggers. Nobody knows. It just happens. And then I take a few super really deep breaths, and within, 30 seconds to a minute, it will click right back into where it's supposed to go. This just increases that, and it does happen quite often more. Nausea, changes in taste, no appetite, tiredness, extreme fatigue, dizziness, back pain, stiff joints, chills and fever, hoarseness, and voice. You literally lose your voice because it affects your vocal cords. Didn't know that. Swelling of eyelids, lips, face, hands, and feet. And I mean swell like you don't even know where your leg ends and your foot begins. It's just one big ankle. Okay. Tightness in chest and trouble breathing. Like you feel like something's sitting on it. Falling down from uneasiness and unsteadiness. People fall down all the time. Coughing, congestion, watery eyes. Your eyes are always just dripping out your face. That's the pertuzumab. Okay, so the trastuzumab, this one is exceptionally monitored because it weakens your heart temporarily. So you can't even take it unless you have a strong heart. And you have to have regular EKGs and EEGs as you're taking this medication to monitor your heart function to make sure there isn't any problems. The good thing about that, though, is that goes away. It's temporary. As soon as you get off the medication, your heart muscles will strengthen back up. So it's not forever, thankfully. Among the list of side effects for this one, of course, is also dry skin, sunburn-like rashing that causes skin peeling. Like you got a really bad sunburn and then you blister and peel. Yeah, it's like that. Hand-foot syndrome. I had never even heard of this before, but this is when you get blisters, like almost like water blisters, almost on the palms of your hands and the soles of your feet. Weird. Okay. Loss of muscle coordination. And, this other immunotherapy, of course, has most of the same side effects as the other stuff, but also causes high blood pressure and lung disease. Okay. Difficulty moving around, which is where the joint issues and everything come in, and a metallic taste in your mouth. Now, that's a pretty comprehensive list of all these possible side effects that people can get. Now, most people may only get a few of these side effects and may only get, this is what happens mostly in general. Most people only get a few, and most people only get a certain percentage of that particular side effect. So they may get nauseous, but not all the time, or they may get diarrhea, but only every now and then, or, almost everybody has hair loss. That's going to happen. Okay. It just does. Because what it does is it kills the root of your hair. Just all the roots over here. So most people only get a few of these. I have them all. All of them. That goes back to the curse of the redheads, as we had talked before, because we have weakened immune systems. We just do. And so if you're going to get it, you're going to get it. So I like to call it go big or go home. My doctor my medical, I have several different doctors on my oncology team, but my medical oncologist, he's hilarious because he just basically has his hands up like, I don't know. Like, it's kicking your butt. I'm like, yeah, it is. What else can I do but laugh about it, right? So I have them all. So the side effects of these of treatments, every time you get treatment, you go in, you get infusions, they get progressively worse during the course of treatment. So in the beginning, like when I started treatment and I got, first one or two, chemotherapy treatments, first 2 weeks, I was delusional because I was like, well, this is not bad. I mean, I had a couple of days where I felt tired, but whatever. I'm like, dude, I could work, I'll be all right. Like, to give you a heads up, the last videos that I took, the last video I took, I actually had already started my first week or two, I think, of chemo. Might have been 1 or 2 weeks. You saw, I looked fine. I still had hair. Like, I felt good. And I was delusional, completely delusional. I was wrong. I mean, super wrong, y'all. It hit me square in the face. Hard. Okay. After like week 3 or 4, that's when everything kind of started changing. So that's when I lost my hair. I did post a video about it on my Facebook, which was actually very sweet and kind of funny. Super hard at first. I probably mentioned this before, but when I first told Jason, my husband, and I first had a conversation, I told him, that I've been diagnosed with breast cancer. The first thing he said to me was, "Can I shave your head?" And I, of course, was like, absolutely not. Because, I still had a full head of hair. And even then, I couldn't possibly imagine losing all my hair. I'm like, yeah, I could see it, but like, no, I can't even imagine, whatever. I'm going to rock bald. It's going to be great. No. Yeah. So about week 3 or 4, I started losing these clumps in the front of my head. And when you look like you start having a skullet, it's time for that to go because that's not a good look. So Jason and I recorded this for posterity, put it on my social media and my Facebook of him shaving my head. It was actually very sweet. And I hadn't lost all my hair, of course, then, but he shaved it down to where I had like a buzz cut so I still had hair. It was just starting to come out. After that, everything just went to shit. Like, no kidding. Having all the side effects, I'm going to just tell you what my life is like. Let me tell you a little peek into my life right now since I have all of them, okay? I don't leave my house at all, except to go to the Cancer Institute. I don't, because I don't look good, y'all, okay? My face is pale and pasty and rough, and there are days where I look like death is knocking at my door. It's bad. And with all of the different medications I take and everything I have to carry, it does horrible things to you, right? I always, all the time, on my person, in my car, in the house, in every room in the house, doesn't matter where I go, in my go bag for chemotherapy, because I have a bag I take chemotherapy that has all my good stuff in it. I always have antidiarrheal medication, anti-nausea medication, Tylenol, Kleenex, butt wipes. Like, I go nowhere without them, okay? All the time. I have absolutely no appetite at all. None. I have to force myself to eat. But the problem is, food is a problem because I live on six things. 6 things I live on. Applesauce cheese, vanilla wafers. I can taste beef, ham and bacon. Thank God for bacon. Bacon is all bacon has no change in taste for me. But because I can't taste most food, which is weird because like I have a salt problem, a big one, and those that know me know this. I need a 12-step program from a salt problem. But salty things taste bitter to me. So I don't like them. It's awful. Okay. Anything that's normally sweet, candy, ice cream, popsicle, stuff like that is too sweet. It's overpoweringly sweet. So in order to have anything sweet, it either has to be fruit. Besides applesauce, I can taste grapes, watermelon, and pears. But like if I want chocolate, it has to be like super, super, super dark chocolate, because that's the only way I can get any sweetness from it at all. Because sweet things are just too sweet. I love bananas. I can't even eat bananas anymore. I used to eat I only like the ones that were not ripe, so the greener the better for me. I like those, I always have. I can't even eat those anymore. They just too sweet. I have no appetite at all, like I said, so I have to set an alarm on my phone to make myself eat. I just started doing that because I had so many problems with not eating and being sick all the time and vomiting and diarrhea and everything and not getting food in my face that my electrolytes dropped, but we'll talk about that in a minute. I had to set an alarm for myself to eat, to make my sleep. So when my alarm goes off, it's like I have to put something in my face. Granted, you would think after all that, I would be super, super skinny, which I'm not. Still losing weight. That's a whole nother thing. We'll talk about that in a minute. So because of the diarrhea and the nausea and the vomiting and not eating, and I did this for a long time because I wasn't thinking anything of it. This caused me to have such severe drop, dangerously low electrolyte issues. So magnesium, calcium, and potassium. These drop like a rock, to the point where my doctor was worried about me. Like, came and talked to me and was like, "This is dangerously low. This can kill you. Did you know that you could die? If your potassium and magnesium levels get too low, you could die. It will kill you faster than cancer." I didn't know this. And I wasn't paying any attention because this isn't something that you normally think about. It's not something that they normally draw when they do blood work and labs and stuff. They don't normally draw for that, okay? Because it's uncommon to be that significantly low. And I didn't know any of this. And so that started a whole pattern now. I have to have infusions of magnesium and potassium every single time I have my infusion day, because for some reason my body is not absorbing them, especially magnesium, and nobody knows why. Can't figure out why. It's just a weird thing. And my calcium was so low at one point that my hands had cramped up, looked like lobster claw, like this. Lobster claws, okay? And I would open them and they would just go right back to it. And it was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. And so I've been to the doctor, like the local hospital here. Actually, it was at the local hospital because I got so sick from my electrolytes dropping so fast and so sick, and it made me lethargic, and my speech was slowed and slurred, and I was so dizzy I couldn't even walk. Like, it was scary. It was super scary. It was in the ER. It was a horrible situation, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But because of all of this, these side effects that I have and what life is like, I have to take medication to manage my side effects the very best that I can, which means my medicine drawer blew up. I mean, 52, I had everything you could possibly need for a household. I had a family, I raised a family, I have all that stuff. But as far as for me, the medication I took literally was basically just antacid every night before I went to bed, and some Benadryl to help me sleep. No, my medication box blew up huge. I had to buy this massive box of AM and PM slots for each one of my medications, because I have more medication I take in the morning, medication I take at night, medication I can only take with this one or this one, and this one has to be 2 hours apart. And I have a list now of the type of medication I have to take, when I have to take it, to help myself remember what I have to do. Now, when I was in Florida and visiting my parents in Florida and working there, I happened to walk into their office and they had printed out their list of medications that they take to their doctor. And I made fun of them about it. I'm like, y'all, this is this long, right? I'm like, y'all, really? Seriously, what is this? Is this a pharmacy? What is this going on here? And they're like, oh, those are medications. And I made fun of them. I picked on them a little bit because that's the type of relationship we have. That one came back to haunt me. a little bit later. That one came back to haunt me because that's my life now. So my apologies to you guys. I'm sorry about that because I'm feeling it now. Being tired is basically, it's a real thing. And tired isn't the word for it. It's basically just a part of my personality. Like the most tired I've ever been in my entire life. I've felt like before I've been tired, but it's not like that. Like it is insanity how tired I am. I have a 2-level house, and to go from my living room upstairs, just walking upstairs, I have to stop 3 times because I'm so winded and exhausted to get the strength to continue to climb my stairs. It is insanity. And not being able to sleep with the insomnia does not help because then you're still not getting sleep. It doesn't matter how much medicine I take. It's just not enough to help me sleep. The skin issue is super bad. I mean, really bad. I have to lather myself with 3 different types of ointments because chemo has ruined my skin, and I don't have any other way to put that. I can't even say how bad it's been. It has ruined my skin because not only you may get several different types of skin rashing, and there's many out there, and it happens all at the same time. So I call it zombie skin, literally, what it's like, because it went from an eczema-like rash, which I have that, and then I also have, which lesions and sores, that absolutely does happen. Rash that looks like a sunburn and burns like a sunburn, and then will peel like a sunburn. That one is usually like on your lower extremities, like your feet and your toes and stuff like that. But and every rash that looks like psoriasis, like every single time you turn, there's something else. It's one more thing. It was so bad. At one point, I had it on my face. I have it everywhere, but it was on my face. And I was mortified because your face is who you are. It's how you identify with people. The first thing people that see is your face. And like I said, I didn't leave the house. I didn't go anywhere. And I certainly wasn't going to make a video when my face was like that, of course. And when I had to go out of the house to cancer treatment, to the cancer center, I would have to put on so much makeup and concealer just so I could be comfortable enough to be seen in public. It was so bad. And even that was not enough. So I finally was able to try several different medications for that. I found one that worked and it cleared my face up. I was super happy about that. But that took weeks, like 5 weeks for that to work. It was awful. And I'm still taking it as needed just because I don't want to ever go back to that. The other stuff, like I said, I have several different types of lotions and ointments every day, twice a day. I got to lather myself up with them. It's just to try to keep it at bay and to try to get it to where it won't get worse, but hopefully get better. It is improving, but it's awful. So absolutely terrible. I really missed the pool because I can't get in the pool. I was going swimming all the time. It was my favorite thing to do. It was great exercise. I can't get in the pool because the chlorine is drying. It's not good for my skin. My skin is already so bad and dry that I can't do it. And it causes scarring. All of the stuff that's happening to your skin, like even if it goes away, I will have scars for the rest of my life because of it. Now, this type of rashing doesn't happen for everybody. Like I said, these are possible things. I got all of them. My reaction and my experience with this is not the norm. It's just like the worst case scenario as far as every side effect that you can get. And I still don't have superpowers, which is complete bullcrap. Like you get all this stuff you have to take and you're getting poisoned every single week and all this medication that you have to take and that you don't get superpowers from that. Complete bullshit. So this brings me to a new segment, actually, just something because I thought it was funny. It's called Shit They Don't Tell You. Because there's a lot of stuff they don't tell you that you find out the hard way. And I want to make sure that I get this out because being new to this whole thing myself, I'd never been through this process before. It was brand new to me and I didn't know what to expect. I would love to be able to help somebody else that might be going through this too, that happens to see this someday and be like, oh my gosh, I didn't know. Now you know, because I'm going to tell you, okay? Shit they don't tell you. You already know you're going to lose your hair, right? You're going to lose your hair. However, you don't realize until you think about it that your entire body is covered in hair, right? And the only place you don't have hair is on the palms of your hands and the soles of your feet, right? So you have hair everywhere. So when you lose your hair, excuse me, you lose it everywhere, okay? Not just your head, okay? You lose your eyebrows, eyelashes, you lose your armpit hair, your leg hair, like everywhere. But what they don't tell you, what you don't think about, but it makes sense because it goes with the whole thing, is you lose your nose hairs because you have hair inside your nose. They're necessary. Those little tiny nose hairs in there are to keep bad things out, right? And stuff in, okay? You lose your nose hairs. Now, I didn't know this. Never even thought about it. Never even crossed my mind. And about week 4, I'm so snotty that I literally have a continuous snot fest. All the time. Snotty. Just dripping. Just lean down, drip. There's nothing to stop it. There's no warning it's happening. Always have Kleenex, Puffs, plus toilet paper, something in my hand because I am continually snot faced. Okay. All the time. I got to a point where before I decided to actually break down and buy Puffs plus with lotion, and thank God I did. But my nose was so raw, I couldn't even touch it. I could barely touch it because all I did was snot. So I asked my doctor about it on one of my visits with him, and he's like, "Well, you don't have any nose hairs." And I said, "Why?" Makes sense to me. He's like, "Well, you lose your hair with chemo. It's part of," and it was like, oh, and it never dawned on me. So, shit they don't tell you. You lose your nose hairs, okay? So there's nothing to stop anything. It's just coming out. It's going to happen. And so once I decided, you know what, I'm going to have to break down and get the good stuff. I got the Puffs Plus with the lotion. And it works so well that I hoard that stuff like toilet paper during the pandemic, y'all. I'm not even kidding. Like between that and butt wipes, that is a precious commodity. I'm not even joking. Like, I will hoard it forever. I would absolutely be the one standing on my porch, packing heat out there, trying to protect my supply. Like, if anybody got close to my house, like, get on out here. Like, I got my gun. Like Clint Eastwood. No one is coming to get my Puffs Plus and my butt wipes. No one. I'll die first. I'll protect them with my life. Back to what they don't tell you, because squirrel, that's how I do. Your nails falling off. So it is one of the nail loss, or lifting, what they call lifting, an impossible loss, is listed as a side effect, but not a common one. But here's what they don't tell you. So 10%, the norm, okay, 10% of patients may lose 1 or 2 nails. May. I have lost 17 nails. And I'm going to tell you, I have lost every nail except for one thumb, which is on its way out, okay, and my 2 big toenails. And they're already lifting, so that's going to happen soon. And when you lose them, let me tell you, it sucks, because the first thing that happens is that your toes are super sensitive. Your fingers and toes are super sensitive. They swell, they get red. It's super sensitive. You can't touch, bump, anything. It'll put you into tears, okay, as they're lifting. And then, because you don't want infection, because if you have an exposed nail bed, you get infection, you have to soak your feet and your hands in vinegar, a 1-to-1 ratio of vinegar and water, twice a day for 15 minutes. Vinegar smells awful, y'all. But it works because it's a natural antifungal, antibacterial, and it's supposed to keep bacteria away, because you don't want infection. And you have to soak. And vinegar is also super drying. Your skin's already dry, so that's awesome. So you have to sit. I sit twice a day with my hands in this one little bucket and my feet in another one for 15 minutes while I'm watching a show. You got to get out. Then you have to cut your cuticles, like as they're lifting, cut them back as far as you can, because they catch. And let me tell you something. Catch a toenail that's lifted up in a bed sheet once, it'll send you through the roof. Because I yelled and flew out of bed because I caught a toenail. I was like, nope, That one's got to go because it was not good. So they don't tell you that happens. Okay. Now my experience isn't like everybody else's, like I said, but they don't tell you that. The skin thing changes all the time. So, and it just adds more and more and more different phases of rashing and problems and changes with every single treatment. So, like I said, you could have several different types of, right now, I currently have 4 different types of skin rash issues right now at the same time. At the same time. It's the same every single time. Another thing they don't tell you is the hoarse voice. So I didn't know, and about I would say probably week 7 or 8, I woke up one day and I was after treatment, and I was super, super hoarse, like really hoarse. I couldn't figure out why. My God, I don't have a cold or anything. Why I'm losing my voice? Because one of the immunotherapies causes your voice to be hoarse, and you will lose your voice. Now, as someone who is an entertainer and a performer, that sucks a lot because I don't want to lose my voice. I don't want to. I can't sing. I can't go sing. And perform and go enjoy myself, which is one of the things I love to do more than anything. I can't because I sound like a cat with his tail stuck in a ceiling fan. Just, I mean, it's ridiculous. And now I'm not making that up. That's a true story. They don't tell you that. Now, I will tell you that there are some things that are positive about cancer treatment, because I have to look at the positive of everything. So there are some positive things. And let me just tell you about what some of those are. So with cancer treatment, you will save money, right? I save money on shampoo and conditioner because I had a lot of hair and I went through a lot of shampoo and conditioner. Now I just need a little dabble for some shampoo, wash my scalp, done. So I save money on shampoo and conditioner. I save a fortune on razors because I don't have to shave nothing. Period. It takes a while for that to grow back, so that one can wait as long as it wants because I hate shaving and razors are expensive. I save money on that stuff. So I made. So a while back, my husband and I and our dear friend made a weight loss bet about who could lose the most weight in a year, and we all bet whoever won would get $100 from each person. Right? I'm totally going to win that bet. I'm absolutely going to be the weight loss challenge winner. Let me tell you why. Even though when you think of cancer or cancer patient, you picture someone, and this is usually the case, is very gaunt. And their face super thin, like they lose half themselves because it makes you so sick, right? And it does cause this weight loss because you can't possibly eat anything you don't want to, and it's just a mess. And I am not there, okay? However, when I started this journey, I needed to lose like 100 pounds as a big girl, okay? I'm still a big girl. I got plenty to keep me going, okay? But I've only lost 30 pounds. But 30 pounds is 30 pounds. I've lost 30 pounds in a matter of actually, because I didn't even start losing weight till the second week. So 2 months, I've lost 30 pounds. That's pretty fast. So even my doctor's like, and hear me, I'm like, woo! And he's like, no. Because you still have to be healthy enough to go through treatment. He's like, we can worry about that later. And me, I'm impatient. I'm like, no, bring this crap on. And so by the time I'm done, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be the weight loss challenge winner. Because, yeah. Right now, have you ever seen a fat cancer patient? That's me. Okay. But it probably won't last forever. And I know that. I'm going to win that. There's that. So, and I know I'm going to win that because I don't eat. I don't have any appetite. And I crap all the time. And I puke my brains out 2 to 3 times a week. So, that's a no-brainer. Let me see. Oh, I have a great excuse, actually, to eat anything I want if I'm hungry. Because I can barely eat as it is. So if I have an appetite, whatever I want to eat, if I just want to have a meal of bacon and cheese and some watermelon, that's what I'm going to eat. Because I can taste it, I can eat it, and if it doesn't make me sick, I get to eat that. So basically, I do what I want. That's kind of nice. Um, and, that's a good thing. I don't have no problem with that. And also, let's be completely honest. It is so nice that even through all of this and having no hair and everything else I'm going through, I can still look this sexy because I make this look good. I try real hard. um, it's a good thing that I save money on some stuff, that we're saving money on stuff, because cancer is expensive, you guys. I mean, everybody, when you think about it, it's cancer, right? It's big business, chemotherapy, all that. It's big business. Cancer is ridiculous. It's expensive. And let me give you a little bit of a clue. Each time that I get an infusion, which is every week, and each type of medication I get is considered a separate infusion. Each one of those, depending on what type of medication it is between $35,000 and $50,000 each one, each time. Let that sink in, okay? It's insanity. I thank God that my husband has insurance and that I'm on his insurance. I thank God. I thank God for that. I thank God for him for taking care of me with the insurance, because it does cover a huge portion of it, but it only covers so much. And there's everything that goes with cancer treatment. It's not just the actual medication. There's so many other things that go with it, and the preparation and everything past that, just so on and so forth. It's so expensive. It only covers so much. So until they have a Groupon for chemotherapy, which honestly I don't know why somebody don't have one right now, because this is ridiculous, we'll probably be paying for this till we're 90, if we live to be 90 years old. We're paying for my cancer treatment. It's ridiculous. I mean, I knew that these things were going to be trouble when I got them at 10 years old, but dude, this is ridiculous. Okay. So let's I'm bringing this around because, like I said, a squirrel, again, I get off track. To shit my husband says, because I know y'all been waiting for that one, okay? And it's a lot. I gave you guys a couple of them today. So during our trip with the whole barium thing and the whole mess and having to stop, and I'm yelling in the car, and it's an absolute ridiculous mess. As you can imagine, there was a lot of discussion and comments from him regarding my need for adult diapers, and how maybe we should make an investment and look at the stock market and for adult diapers, and which one's the best, if this is going to be a trend, Miss Shits-a-lot, which is what he started calling me then. Sweet. I knew it was coming. Okay. And this is no lie, no stuff. Every single time I go to treatment, every single time, I've been 11 times. We know all of the nurses there. Every single time we get done, and when I'm done, because you're in a pod, and each pod has 4 chairs, and there's like 11 pods. So it's a fairly large place where the infusion center is, at Huntsman. And every time I'm done, and they take the thing out and they pop it out because I'm done, I'm getting ready to go, get out of the chair, my treatment's over. As soon as we're walking out the door, Jay, without fail, says, "Thanks for the weekly poison." And they all know it's coming. They don't laugh anymore, though, because they did used to think it was funny, but, sometimes they like to beat a dead horse. But he said, it's like clockwork. "Thanks for the weekly poison." This one was funny. We were, one of the times when I was super, super sick, and I had to go to the local hospital here when I was really, really bad, and my electrolytes had dropped super bad. And I'm in the ER, and Jason's there with me, and our dear friend who was on call that night for ambulance duty, when she found out that he called and told her that I was in the ER, so she came by to see me. And so they're both sitting in the room, and the doctor, the doctor on duty's name is Petticini. You can see where this is going. So Jason is like, "Fettuccine, woo!" And then, so he started, and that didn't get a response from the doctor. And then he started calling him Alfredo. Now, meanwhile, I'm cracking up. Alice is cracking up, because every time he walks in the room, "Alfredo, what's up? How's it going? What's going on with my wife? What's up, Alfredo? How's life been?" Because it's Jason. Dr. Alfredo did not think it was funny at all. His face was just stone. Didn't think it was funny at all. Absolutely nothing of it. In fact, he got so disgusted by it, and I'm sure this was it, at least what I tell my husband, that he stopped coming in the room. And I was there for 7 hours. Okay, he stopped coming, and this one particular visit, he stopped coming in the room and was just sending in the nurses, a radiologist who came in to do some stuff, and an EKG. Like, he sent everybody else. He had not come back into the room, even when they were discharging me, and he was telling me about, well, this is what we think and what we're going to do and all this. No, he had the nurse come in. He just stopped talking to us completely altogether. Dr. Alfredo just gave up. So in that same visit, the nurse has to give me an IV because she originally was like, hey, can we access your port? Because they were going to give me, I needed infusions of magnesium and potassium, of course, because I was dropping to the point where it was going to kill me. And I don't let anybody touch my port. Nobody is allowed to port access because you have to be specially trained in that. And I'm not saying that she wasn't, trust me, I'm sure they're all trained in that. But you have to put this cream on it that helps numb because they have to put this ginormous needle through your skin, okay, hard. And it's painful. So you have to put this numbing cream on. For me, because of my past experiences and my genetic makeup, it takes an hour to 2 hours for it to take effect. I didn't put any cream on my port. I never even thought about it. I was too tired and my deathbed, I thought, died. Couldn't even have the strength to walk across my bedroom to go to the bathroom, much less think about, I probably ought to put some cream on in case I need to go to the hospital. No, so I certainly wasn't going to let her touch it. So I said, you can give me an IV, but it's not going to be easy because, as we know from before, my past episodes, my veins like to run from the needle. So, and I'm on this medication that makes me bleed and bruise super easy. So she gives me an IV and I bleed everywhere. Everywhere. I have blood on my shirt, on my pants, on the bed, on the sheets, on the floor. It's a lot of blood. It's everywhere. And she's apologizing. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Jason pipes up with, it's okay. She loves being stuck. It's her favorite thing. We'll come back tomorrow and do it again. And her face was just like, just looking at him. And I'm like, we're not coming back tomorrow. No, it's not happening. Because she's like, is he serious? No, we're not coming back tomorrow. And no, I don't love it. And he's like, no, she does. She loves it. We'll be back. Anytime, here's another one. Anytime that anybody asks him how I'm doing, and because I know a lot of people in this community, everybody at work knows what's going on with him, his work knows what's going on, this pharmacist, like everybody know everybody. So every time he picks up my prescriptions or he's at work and one of the guys almost every day asks, hey, how's Dawn doing? He's like, I don't know if you know this, but she has cancer. Stone face. And then he starts cracking up because he thinks it's funny because he's, I made you uncomfortable. I think it's funny. And I'm like, Jason, stop. That's not funny because these people, like every single time. And I'm like, you got to quit that. Because he's like, well, I'm not, it makes him a little uncomfortable, but it's funny. Yeah, it's really not. And recently, this is the last one I'll tell you for now. One of my medications that I have to be on, I can't be in the sun at all. Like when if I have to just go to my mailbox, I have to put on a long sleeve shirt, a scarf, a hat, a hoodie or something, gloves, socks, long pants, shoes, no sun hat, no skin showing because just seconds in the sun will cause severe sunburn. Like this one particular medication. It's awesome. So Jason has decided that because I'm a vampire. So now he calls me Nosferatu. Have you seen a picture of Nosferatu? One's not my favorite at all. Like if I'm in the mirror putting on my cream or brushing my teeth, he'll go, hey, can you see your reflection? Because I'm a vampire. Hilarious. He's so funny. I have more. We'll save those for another time because, like I said, we missed some time with each other. But I wrote down. I promise. I have to write them down. I won't remember nothing. So we'll go to this next section called Tumor Humor because we're moving right along. And it is, if you have not heard it, it is exactly what you think it is. We make jokes about cancer because that's what I do. So, tumor humor, here we go. Woman goes to the doctor to get checked out. Doctor does thorough examination, runs tests, everything else. And he says to you, I'm afraid I have to tell you that you have cancer. And this woman becomes enraged. And she's screaming at him, calling him an idiot. Just screaming, idiot, you're a moron. Storms out. Comes right back in the room, into his office, and says, tells him, you know what? I need a second opinion because you're a moron. He goes, okay, well, you're ugly as well. I know. I don't know if y'all think that's funny, but dude, I laughed so hard when I read that. You're ugly as well. I know people that would do that, that would act like that. And no, it made me laugh. So before we end our episodes, every time I like to do a question and answer thing where I ask everybody to pose a question to me if they have questions about anything. It doesn't matter if it's cancer related, treatment related, anything about myself, anything at all that you want to know, ask me and I will answer it honestly. Absolutely honestly. I'll pull no punches. So this particular question was posed to me by a friend on social media in a private message. And I've known this person a very, 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 very long time. Very long time. And, sorry, as you could see, I've got to stop for a second because always nose. Drippy, drippy, drippy. It's my life. Okay, so she posed this question to me on social media. And not just a question, but like she chastised me pretty good for a minute. And she was like, I can't believe that you make jokes about cancer. Cancer is not funny. People are dying all the time because of this horrible disease. It's killing people, and you're just making fun of it. You're just telling jokes about it, making fun of it. It's just not funny. Why would you do that? Why are you doing that? And at first I was like, whatever. This, I got irritated at first because I'm like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me right now? Like, it's not your job to judge how I deal with this, right? But then I thought, you know what? I think that this deserves an answer. Okay, so I'm going to answer it. And here goes. She's right. Cancer isn't funny. There's not one damn thing funny about cancer. I know all too well the mortality of cancer. I have lost many dear friends and family, people that I love, from cancer. And so has everybody else. I'm sure there's probably not one person on this planet that hasn't lost someone that they love to this horrible, horrible disease. It's not funny. It does kill people. However, I have to stay positive. That's my job. I have to stay positive. My husband tells me all the time, and it drives me crazy, but he's right, that my only job is to survive. I have to do that in any way that I know how. And how I know how is making fun of it. Staying positive. It's the only way I can get through. It's the only way. This is therapeutic for me. Me talking, doing this, and talking about the absolute and utter ridiculousness that comes with cancer and the side effects and, oh my God, what it does to you and everything you have to go through and how insane and ridiculous it is. It can't be anything but funny because that's the only way that I could get through it. Or for me, to do that. And doing this and helping, I hope to help others like that will see this and maybe gain some, like if someone's watching this and they're having a struggle and they're going through cancer too, and they can look at my positivity and the funny humor crap that I put behind it, because that's the only way I can deal with it and make it relatable. And it helps them to stay on a positive track so they can survive, because that's the number one key, I think, to living through cancer and beating it is staying positive. Okay? That would mean the world to me if it helps somebody. I mean, my husband does tell me it's my only job to survive. And there are times I just lose my shit over it because I'm like, I have to do more. I got to be more. That's who I am. I can't just wait around and just sit here and let it just take over me, right? I lose my shit every single time because of how it's changed my life. But not only my life, but it has changed the entire course of the rest of my life. Truly. And I can look at it like, you know, and be sad about it for the rest of my life. But that's not what I'm going to do. I believe for the rest of my life that when I survive this and it's over, surviving cancer to me is not the end of a horrible story, but I think the beginning of a beautiful new story. And I'm telling you what, my life is going to be different. It absolutely changed. It's going to change the entire course of the rest of my life. It's going to be better because I have gained insight and faith and learned so much that I could only be a stronger, better person because of it. So I have to put those positive spins on it. What else? What's the other alternative? Sit there and die? I'm not willing to do that. I will never do that. So that's, yeah, cancer's not funny, but you got to stay positive to get through. And I told her, and what I did tell her was, I understand, and but this is my journey and how I do it. And if it bothers you, don't watch. So there's my answer. I have one more chemo to go, you guys. One more chemo treatment to go. That's next Tuesday coming up, the 18th. It's my 12th chemo treatment, you guys. Oh, I wish I had one of those things they have on the radio where you have a bunch of clapping, and applause. And you have this gong you're supposed to ring, like, right, when you're done. And at first I was like, why would I ring the gong? Because that's not the end of my journey. I still have so much more to go. This is just a big part of it, one part that'll be over. I don't want to ring that thing until I'm cancer free, right? But then I realized it is huge because not being poisoned every single week can only mean good things, right? Okay? And it is the start of the next step in recovery, the next step, because the next week I continue with my immunotherapy infusions, except I won't have to go every week. I have to go every 3 weeks. And I will do that, every 3 weeks until April of next year. Then I've got, in addition to that coming up, I have consults and tests and preparation for surgery, which is actually the next step in my process is surgery, where Lucy and Ethel are going to go bye-bye. Okay. And the tumors that are under my armpit and my lymph nodes, they're going bye-bye. And that's a massive step, and there's a lot to prepare for that. And my protocol is, because I have metastatic breast cancer, which means it's spreading. As soon as it goes into your lymph nodes, it's considered metastatic because your lymph nodes, of course, are all over your body, and it can spread extremely fast that way. And so the protocol from the end of chemo for me, my last chemo treatment, to the time I have surgery and take the tumors out, okay, is only 4 weeks is all I have, like no longer than 4 weeks. It can be done any time in the middle as long as all the tests and everything are done, but it cannot be any longer than 4 weeks because of how fast it progresses. So I know that I'll be having surgery sometime before August 18th, and I don't know a date yet, and of course I'll keep you guys posted. So that's the next step in my journey, and I will keep you guys posted on all that, let you know how things are going. Thank you. I cannot express my thanks enough for the absolute kindness and generosity that I have received from everybody. So many people, from well wishes and prayers and people calling me and checking on me, asking me if I need anything. I have a red bench on the outside of my on my porch next to my garage door. I call it the magic red bench because I'll go out there and things just appear on my bench. and people have brought me gifts and things, and it's always something I need, which is amazing. And or send me something in the mail, or just something to let me know they're thinking of me. And I mean, and I don't need, not that I need it, and trust me, I don't. It's unnecessary, but it's so sweet and so gracious and kind and generous. And I just want to thank you guys for everything. I couldn't possibly repay you for your kindness. Thank you. I'm humbled by it and absolutely blessed, of course, that I'm loved and I feel loved. And thank you for that. Always, like I always say at the end of every episode, get your girls checked, y'all. Though you have to get your girls checked. Do not put it off. I want to thank all of my lovelies in my life that have gone and done the self-care and took care of themselves and got scheduled a mammogram and went and got their screening done. It's so important. Thank you for doing that. It means the world to me that you were taking care of you. If you haven't done it, do it. It could save your life. And I'm here to tell you, as somebody who knows, it could save your life. Thank you for liking and subscribing to my channel. I appreciate it so much, and basically just hanging in there with me. I know it's been a struggle. If you haven't liked and subscribed yet, please do. It will keep you posted on everything that's happening. And I'm hoping that when I'm going to be done with chemo next week, then I'm going to feel a lot better and be able to keep up on these a lot more. We'll see, because I'm telling you, man, we're just getting to the good stuff. So thank you for hanging in there with me. I appreciate you. I started a TikTok channel. Look for that. I truly did. I jumped on it. I gave up and I had to do it. I haven't posted a video yet because honestly, I don't really know what I want to talk about, and it has to be super short. And obviously, I don't know how to be super short because all I do is talk and I never shut up. So I'm still thinking about that. If you have any ideas, I'll love to hear them. But look for my TikTok channel. Please follow me. That way, when I do make a video, which I hopefully will be very soon, you'll be notified. It's called Dawn. It's under Dawn _ Boom Shakalaka. True story. My name on there is Rockstar Mom, ROXSTRMOM. Okay. You can't miss it. It has a picture of what it looked like with hair, so you can't miss it. And I'll be making that soon, so I'll let you guys know when I do. Thank you again. I just can't say that enough. I appreciate you hanging with me and being patient. On to the next part of my journey, you guys, and it's only going to get good from here. Because man, I'm going to make one video after my last chemo treatment, and I'm hoping that I can post that to social media of the symbolic ringing of the gong, because I can't wait, you guys. It'd be nice to not be poisoned every week, I can tell you that. Always, you guys, if you can't be good, be careful, and you know that. I pray for you all. I love you all. Bless you all. And till next time. Peace.